Hi everyone, it's Tammy Walker with Tammy's Crafty Creations. Follow along with me while I show you guys how I made this beautiful Hershey Kiss Rosebud flower arrangement. Hi everyone, I wanted to show you today how I made these beautiful rosebud Hershey Kiss rosebuds using actually Dollar Tree roses and a few odds and ends of items that I had in my stash. So my next set will be pink, so I will kind of go over what you need to do this project. I bought this vase at the Dollar Tree, so you'll need a kind of vase to put your roses in, and then you will need what I call scatter, table scatter. It's these little jewel type thing that goes in the jars for decoration. And I found these roses at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use 5 of them. But I went ahead and clipped them off their base. They were a cluster together for $1. I'm also using the ribbon bling that the Dollar Tree has, and I cut it apart and to have little single bling strands, and you need about 5 of those. Measurement wise, they're measuring about 4 3/4 in length. And you also need bling to go around your vase, and it's measuring about 11 1/4. You need one of those to go around your vase. I'm also using ribbon, just a black polka dot ribbon for bow, and I'm also using just some white with silver trimmed ribbon. I got 5 bows for that, tiny bows. And I have found these little rosebuds at Hobby Lobby. They're different colors of pinks, reds, whites, and I'm using these peachy white colored roses for my vase. And then you need Hershey Kisses. I got pink. I found these at the Dollar Tree, a bag for $1. And so we'll need, we got 5 roses and we use 2 per rose. We'll need 10 Hershey Kisses. You will also need some floral tape. It's a stretchy tape that's sticky that you could wrap wire with. I am also using a hot glue gun. So you need your hot glue gun and glue sticks. These are floral wire. I'm not sure exactly what the gauge is on it, but it's a thinner floral wire, and I think it's 18 inches in length, and I cut it in half. I'm also using some glue dots to glue together my Hershey Kisses to help with wrapping them. And with these roses, I did a silver Hershey Kiss with a red cellophane that I found. I could not find pink cellophane, so I'm using clear cellophane that I got from the Dollar Tree. So I'll be using clear cellophane with the pink Hershey Kisses. And I do believe that's it. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do is to cut your cellophane sheets into 4x4 squares. And so I have 5 of those ready to go, and I'm going to take a couple of glue dots and I'm going to add them to the bottom of my Hershey Kiss. It's on there. Zoom in just a little bit. Okay. And this doesn't stick, perfect, but it helps hold it together while I'm working with the cellophane. So then I'm going to have my cellophane sheet ready to go with my Hershey Kisses. I'm going to go ahead and pull off, get these out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and pull off a nice long strand of this floral tape, and I'm going to stretch it. When you stretch it, it activates the tape and makes it sticky. One side is usually more sticky than the other, so I like to try to see which side it is. It's this side, I believe. It's the sticky one. And zoom out a little bit. We're too close. Okay, so I have that ready to go, and my wire that I have already cut in half, I'm going to fold it in half. Okay. Alright, so we're going to take our cellophane sheet. This might be kind of hard to see, but I'm going to put it in the center of the sheet, and then I fold it up along its side there, along the sides. Trying to keep it in the center as best as I can. Okay, we'll try to keep up closer on the camera for this. And I made a bunch of these, just these as rosebuds instead of adding them to the silk flowers. Back when my son was in kindergarten. He's a junior now. I made them for his teacher for Valentine's Day one year. It went over really well. So I'm just basically folding up the cellophane to look like that. It's kind of hard to see because it's clear. Then I'm just going to kind of start wrapping the cellophane around the Hershey Kiss. Like so. Now, you want to try to make your Hershey Kisses to match your roses. So being that I couldn't find pink cellophane, luckily I found pink Hershey Kisses. So they're not exactly the right pink, but it's close enough. So now I'm going to wrap my floral tape around the base of the cellophane here to hold it in place. Okay, tear that off. So you should have something that looks, well, it looks like a rosebud. Do it like that so you can see. Okay, so now I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to open it up and I'm going to place it on either side of my, let's see if I can zoom in. Maybe I need to zoom in a little more. On either side of my base of my rosebud here. And make sure you give yourself plenty, because then you're going to take and bend one back and then wrap the one side around as tight as you can get it. You might have to use some pliers and then wrap it around the other way for the other one. Get it as tight as you can get it. And I have my small little pliers here that I can kind of crimp this off. Okay. Now if you want, you can twist this at the base. So, now we have that. And you'll need to clip the thing up. I guess you do need some clippers. I didn't say you needed those, but something to clip the wire. And then you're going to take your floral tape and wrap around the base to kind of hide your wires there where it doesn't look. Because you really won't see it, but it just makes it look neater. My cat is in here having fun with some beads she found, so yeah, she's fixing to have to go. Okay, so you kind of have your rosebud center ready to go here. So now I'm going to take my rose, I'm going to pull it off its stem. And like I said before, there is like a little hole in the center there. If I can get it in there right. And I'm just going to stick these two wires down through that hole. Okay. So I got them down through the hole, and then got my Hershey Kisses down in there. I'm going to work the petals to where they're open too. It kind of closes up the petals a little bit if you're not careful, so that way they're not all folded over. Okay, so now I'm going to hold the bud itself like so, split the wires open, stick the stem back into the base, so it'll be a tight fit and it might split, but that's okay because we're going to wrap it and then we're going to put tape on it. So just wrap it around the base of the stem here. Okay, and this I'm going to wrap in the other direction and get it up on the base of the flower. And then take my pliers and wrap it more tightly around. Same thing here. Okay, so now we have our wire wrapped around the base of our rose and stem. Okay. So now I'm going to take this tape again and I'm going to wrap it around the base of the rose and then twist and wrap as I go down just to hide the wires. Okay, and then you just tear it off and just kind of twist it back and forth to make sure it's nice and stuck together. And there we have our little Hershey Kiss rose. Our rose with our little Hershey Kiss center. Okay, so now what I did to get the cute little let me pull my red one back in here. The little bling wrapped in with the bow. It was really easy. I mean, obviously, you guys probably can tell just by looking at how it is, how I did it. But so I took my little single strips of the bling. And like I said, this ribbon I got from the Dollar Tree. You can get it at Walmart and places too. And I put just a little bit of glue on the ends here. This is a precision point glue gun, which I really like. And I figured out about how high I wanted it to come up to my rose, so I just kind of add it to my bud there and just kind of let it sit and dry. Make sure I hold it in place to where it doesn't shift. So I don't want it to twist. Okay, and we're going to let that dry a second. And then I just went through and just wrapped the bling around the rose. Now this might take a little bit. I mean, it's not hard, but to try to get it to wrap the rosebuds to where they lay right and don't lay weird. You could leave this step out if you want, but I think it looks really cute, and it helps to hold the rose together to look more like an actual bud instead of an open rose. If that makes any sense. I'm adding my glue, and then I'm going to lay down my bling there, and that's where we're going to put our bow. So if it doesn't look the prettiest, that's fine. So now I'm just kind of adjusting my petals, making sure they're laying as well as they can. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to shove up my little bling here on the back. I'm going to add a little dot of glue to the back here, back center. I'm just going to use a some tweezers or my pliers. I'm going to lift up the bling thing and kind of lay it on top of that glue to where it doesn't smear it too much. Okay, so we have our cute little strip of bling going around the rose. Straighten out a little center there. So you have a cute little rosebud. Okay, and now where I have my, where it meets there, if you can see that or not, I'm going to take my little silver and white ribbon, and I'm just going to tack it on with a little bit of hot glue, and we're going to set it right there in the center. I think this is just super cute. I was looking at my red roses when I made them, and I was like, something's missing. Something needs to happen. It needs a little something more. And so I just started playing around with some of the stuff that I had, and I thought the bling was a nice little touch, the little bling ribbon. So there you have our first ready rose. And I'm going to go through and do up the rest of my roses, and then we'll come back and we will work on the base. Okay, welcome back. I've gotten all of my roses put together with my Hershey Kisses, and I went through and I wrapped all my roses in a bling ribbon, and then added the white with silver trim ribbon. And I went through and I had some of these petals that were, you know, pretty long, so I went through and I folded some of them down to give them more of a realistic look, and it turned out beautiful. I just think it's just gorgeous. Some of these I left straight. I mean, it's just a matter of just taking them and just fold down the petal. And if you really want it to stay and it's having issues, you could always add a little bit of hot glue. But isn't that beautiful? It gives it more of a realistic look of a rose. So you just fold a few of those down if you can. You don't have to. Totally up to you. So now we're going to set our roses aside. They're ready to go. And we're going to pull in our vase. Like I said, I got this one at the Dollar Tree. And let me zoom out here. Dollar Tree for $1 is really cute. And so what I ended up doing is I added a little bling to this to kind of dress it up a little bit. So I'm going to add this strip of bling ribbon that I also got from the Dollar Tree to the narrow part of my vase here. Just wrap it around. So I'm just going to add some glue to like the first 3 rows of the ribbon here, and then just attach it to my vase and just kind of let it sit there and dry a second. That way it doesn't shift when we try to move it around. It shouldn't take long because this glass is really cold. Okay, so let me trim this out. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to this end piece here. See if I can zoom in a little bit more. So to this piece right here, I'm going to add a little bit of my hot glue. And maybe to a little bit of the glass, not a whole lot. Okay, and then I'm just going to wrap it around and set it on there. That's where we're going to add our ribbon, so you won't really see the little knot going there. So that just kind of dresses up the vase a little bit. It makes it look a little more special. Okay, so I'm going to set that down like that and hope it don't rot. My scissors there, keep it in place. Now, as I pre-tied my ribbon, it's just black with white polka dot sheer ribbon. And I'm just going to tack it down to the center there. This is just a simple little addition. You could do whatever you like. If you see something else that you would prefer to do, or you have something else you prefer to do. This is just how I did my vases, or vases. So now I'm going to add my cute little rosebuds here. Just add a little glue to the back, and I'm going to add it to either side of my knot here. So I'm going to put one there, and then do up another one. A little bit of glue. And we're going to add it to that side and just let it set up a second and kind of set there and set up a second. I'm going to go ahead and trim out my ribbon bottom here. Trim it down. I'm going to give these to my mom and my mother-in-law for Valentine's Day. Okay, so the excess ribbon out of the way. I think that light peachy pink color here, kind of a flesh tone, I don't know. I think it looks really pretty with this polka dot ribbon. Now, I did not mention that I'm going to be using some beads, but I am going to be using some beads. They are 5mm and 4mm. I'm using one 5mm for the center here, and then 4mm for either side of the center. Yeah, 5 and 4. So I just like to use a toothpick to help with attaching. That way they're so tiny. And I just hold my pearl on my toothpick and add just a little bit of glue. This makes attaching stuff go a lot faster. And just put it down and slide the toothpick out and just let it sit there and set up. And then I'm going to add 2 pearls to either side, 2 of the smaller pearls to either side of the big one. Just a little bit of glue. I'm going to go to the side of that one. All my little strings out of the way. Okay, and then we're going to add our next pearl. And the way I'm stacking these, even though these pearls have got holes for beading, because these are for making jewelry, I guess, or for beading, I'll say, you shouldn't really see the little hole there. But if you do, that's okay. I mean, it is a handmade gift. Okay, see how cute that's looking? I'll do one more. I think these little pearls add a nice little touch to it. There. Kind of tuck them down. There we go. So, there's that. So you can see how cute that turned out. Okay, so I'm going to zoom back out, and then we're going to add our table scatter filler for the vase. And what I did for the bottom of mine, because my roses and my red one wasn't as long, these are a longer stem, so I might not have to do this, but I added some tissue paper in the bottom of the red ones that I made. I'm trying to hold this without losing everything. I put tissue paper in the bottom to act as a filler, to where it would help lift up my little scatter stones there, to where my roses would not sink all the way to the bottom. But these roses are pretty long. They seem to be longer than my other ones, so I think I'm going to try to omit, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the bottom. So I just took and cut a square of tissue paper to match. I'm just gonna stick it in the bottom there. I'm gonna take my scissors and cram it down in there. Okay. There we go. Now, I'm going to take my scatter that I have for this one. I'm doing just the clear with these little lips. I thought it matched the rosebuds really nicely. The pink in them matched the rosebuds. So I went through and dug out all the ones that the color matched out of my bag of scatter that I had. And I got these from some of them from Dollar Tree and some of them from Hobby Lobby. So we got our scatter in there. Okay. So now we are going to add our roses, and I'm going to put the tallest one in the back. So put that in the back on. So try to make sure the bows are facing forward. Let me see if I can zoom out more. I don't know if I can or not. The bows are facing forward. Don't know how well this is picking up on the camera because I'm filming from up above my table. So let me do 3 in the back. Kind of in there nicely. Now these roses, being they do have the Hershey Kisses in them, they are a little weighty, so you'll have to play around with them and get them to turn the right direction. So I got 3 there. I think these are so cute. Okay, and then I'm going to do 2 in the front. Put that in there, come on. Work with me, work with me. Got 1 and 2. Okay. So you just kind of play around with them to get the rose bow to sit to the front. Alright, I think we've got it. Okay, so I think I'm going to add a little bit more scatter to the top of mine because, oh, I need it in there. I just feel like it needs it to help fill in some of the holes there. So just a few pieces. Now, bear with me. I'm fixing to pause it, and I'm going to move the camera around so you can see the front. Okay, so here's the front of both the sets of roses. I think it turned out really cute, and I love both colors. They turned out, they're just beautiful. The two-toned is gorgeous, and the solid red is gorgeous. All the colors look great. See the bow on the front of that one is pretty much the same. It's just a little different color of the roses I used for the fronts. And the little table scatter I used in there is just beautiful as a filler. And I just think these would make a really cute Valentine's gift for somebody. And like I said, these are going to go to my mom and my mother-in-law for Valentine's Day. So that's what they look like from the side, and you can see the little Hershey kisses peeking out the top of the roses, and they're just beautiful. I just loved how they turned out. So thank you guys for watching my channel, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to be able to get notices of my next videos as I put them out. Thanks for watching. Bye. Happy Valentine's Day.